What up, what up, what up? We got told y'all I was going live today. And we're gonna chop it up. I told y'all I was going live. What's up? It's your boy LOE. We got a little live today. We're gonna chop it up for about an hour, hour and a half. Who knows? Till I get tired. For sure, an hour though, for sure. And I only got really two things I really want to talk about. In all honesty, I'm gonna talk about the playoff. Kind of toward at the end of the live maybe, and if it's something else I want to talk about, I'll keep talking. But when you get in here, make sure y'all smash the like button for me. Get this out to everybody. But let's talk about it. I want to talk about Brian Norman. Brian Norman and Tio, they seem to be going at it again. Shout out to both of them. What's up, Mr. What's up, Mr. Neezy? Shout out to bro. That's my brother, y'all. If y'all don't know, Mr. Neezy. That's bro them. Let's talk about it. Brian Norman and Tio, they've been getting into it. They were on Twitter I think it was last night or today. And Tio, he actually had a point in what he said. I gotta give him credit. But Brian Norman told Tio, he wants him to come up to 147 now. And he wants him to, move up to challenge for his title at 147. If you guys don't know, Brian Norman, WBO champion at welterweight, he's 24 years old. And he's kind of putting his foot in his mouth. I can't say he's not, because at first, he was saying, oh, I'll move down, to 40 to fight Teofimo Lopez. I can make 40, and if those other champions at 141, we can make those fight. So he's kind of putting his foot in his mouth, and I think he understood, like, oh, I would be kind of idiotic to move down to 140 to fight Tio when he's already, kind of alluded to moving up to 147. So, I think Brian Norman realized that was an idiotic move. I shouldn't be doing that. That's very stupid of me. But, that's on him. I'm not mad, for him saying that. But I do think he needs to realize he kind of put his foot in his mouth, because, you can't be saying, oh, I'm going to do this. I'll go down to 140 to fight Tio. And then, once you realize how stupid you sound, I think you should move up to 147. And Tio was planning to move up to 47 anyway. So that's what kind of, made me a little irritable about it. I'm thinking like, oh, okay, you look kind of weird, Lil from India, shout out to you, bro. That's what time is it in India? That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't like this from Brian Norman, because he's kind of putting his foot in his mouth. If y'all get in here, make sure y'all like this, live. I want to get this out to as many people as possible. So if you hop in here, like the live, we chopping it up. I'll for about an hour and a half. I got some stuff I want to get off, my chest. But if y'all in here, make sure y'all like the live. It's 1:57 a.m. Oh my God! Shout out to you. That's real. Shout out to you. For real, that's real. Shout out to you. But yeah, Tio kind of chimed in on Twitter and said, you were scared to fight Boots for money, and I moved up to fight. I fought Lomachenko. Texas Halloween Hunter. What's up? Yo, what up? Make sure y'all like the video, like the live. But he told Brian Norman, I moved up, and I fought Lomachenko. I only made 500,000, and that's true. You gotta give Tio credit. He did fight Lomachenko. He chose legacy, and he actually got it done. You gotta give him that credit. To go in there in that type of fight, to get that type of done. Even if Lomachenko was hurt, you could say he was hurt. You could say he wasn't his best. How was your I'm vibing. We grinding right now. I told y'all I was going live, every Thursday. So shout out to you. But your day going smooth. My day going smooth. Yeah, my day smooth. I'm chilling. I'm vibing. I ain't doing nothing. I'm just chilling. Shout out to my mod, y'all. Mr. Neezy TV. That's the mod. That's bro. So if you say something wild, most likely he'll kick you out or, ban you. So don't say nothing wild, y'all. I love y'all. I want to keep my space positive. We can get a little toxic, but I want to keep my space positive, you know, so we can rap and actually talk, you know, sports and, you know, entertainment. So, you know, but Tio did have a point. You know, he did, you know, take the Lomachenko fight. Lomachenko may have been shoulder, may have been hurt, but he took the fight. That was on Lomachenko. You know, he decided to take that situation, and you know, Tio got it done. And if he only made 500,000, you know, I wonder what type of deal Tio signed, man. That's crazy, you know, to only take home 500K in a unification fight. You know, like, Top Rank tried to say it was undisputed, but we know it was unification. You know, you ain't fooling me. Devin had the WBC. You know, so you can't play me like a stupid idiot, because I'm not. But yeah, he's right. You know, he might got Brian Norman right here. You know, but you know, right now it looks like, you know, Brian Norman should be trying to get that scrap from Boots. You know, because we don't know if T.O.'s just for sure going up to 147 for sure. You know, he's alluded to it, but I don't think he's for sure going up. So I think Brian Norman should possibly be focused on, you know, Boots, because I think Boots is trying to get a championship fight, and I think that's more of the more realistic fight to get made. You know, both of you guys at 147, it's history. You know, you called Boots out. He turned down Tio and said that, you know, he's trying to choose legacy. So, you know, I just hope Boots doesn't change his tune. You know, a lot of guys be like, yeah, I'm legacy first. You know, I choose my legacy, and that changes. You know, as the later in their career gets, you know, guys start to, oh, I want that bag, and you know, and that's just, you know, I've just seen so much in boxing. You see a guy come in, he'll be, you know, all the smoke. You know, he want all the smoke, and then, you know, he'll get the, no, it's a business. I want to make sure I'm financially compensated. I've seen guys change that tune a million times. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, you know, Boots is wrong for it, but I hope he stays on that path, you know, because, okay, cool, you know, I'll let you slide. A lot of people did give you flack for, you know, turning, you know, not getting the Virgil Ortiz fight made, and, you know, now, I'm trying to fight Tio, cool. And a lot of people thought that was fishy. But cool, you turned down Tio to say, I'm choosing legacy, I'm trying to get one of these champions in the ring. And I can respect it. You know, if you're trying to get a champion in the ring, I respect it, because, you know, a unification is big. You know, I got to give him credit for that. Now, cool. Now, you got to keep this same energy, you know, later on in your career, you know, because there's going to be times where your legacy is going to be in question. Oh, we want you to fight this guy, and he might not bring the same financial compensation that, you know, you might want, but it's good for your legacy. So I want you to keep this same energy. That's all I'm saying. You know, keep the same energy, because I've seen numerous of boxers. Oh, I'm in for the love of the game. You know, I love boxing. You know, I want my legacy. I want to be a legend. I want to be a Hall of Famer. And then, you know, later on in their career, oh, I'm trying to get paid. I need this money. I need to, you know, I've seen it. It's nothing, you know, new. So, you know, I want Boots, you know, to get a champion, but it's gonna be tough for him to get these champions in the ring. We know Barrios, you know, he's trying to get Pacquiao. I don't know if he's gonna get Pacquiao, Conor Ben, something like that. He's trying to get that, you know. I don't know if he's gonna get that fight, so, but he's trying to get those two fights. Boom, he's busy. Stanionis be going missing. Like we never really know with Stanionis. He's missing. We only see him, you know, once every 10, 11 months. You know, he comes back and he gives us a nice performance, but we don't really see him. Now, the next best thing is Brian Norman. You know, he has that WBO championship. He's with Top Rank. I don't think Bob has an issue with the fight being made. You know, he hasn't said anything about, you know, blocking that fight. I mean, I think he understands what he has in Brian Norman. You know, Brian Norman, you know, when he got the title off of Santillan, a lot of people didn't think he was going to get that title. So, and he got that done, but a lot of people didn't think he was going to get that scrap. And, you know, he's young. A lot of people think, you know, Brian Norman is basically a prospect with a scrap. I mean, could you argue that? Could you argue, Brian Norman being a prospect with a title? I could. I could. I can honestly say that. He's a prospect with a scrap. That's just what it is. But and that's why he asked for what he asked for. I think he knows, like and Eddie Hearn and Boots, they were trying to get him to come to Philly for his first title defense in the unification. I think they should have just cashed him out and got it. But now since they waited, it didn't get made their first time. I think it actually gives them gives them room to build the fight up. It gives them a lot of room to build the fight up now. Both camps still are talking about the fight, so it gives them room to build a fight up, and that's probably better anyway. Because both guys are relatively unknown. If you're not a hardcore fan, casual fans don't know who Brian Norman and Jaron Boots Ennis is. Let's just keep it a stick. They don't know who those guys are, so I can't just sit here and say, oh, it's a star-studded fight. It's not, and for what they asking for, that's basically, a lot of money for two relatively unknown guys. So I kind of see why, but I think if Eddie Hearn really had his best interest for Boots, he drops the bag out because he knows Boots really benefits from getting that other scrap, But I've been saying it on my channel. I've been an advocate for saying Eddie Hearn doesn't have Jaron in his best interest. He doesn't do the best thing. Spider-Man. What's up? I just don't personally think Eddie Hearn has, Boots' best interest. I don't think he's putting him in the best situations to win, and I've been saying it for a while now. Hopefully Boots can find a way to get away from that man, but who knows? It happens, we may not never see him get away, but hopefully he does. I think right now, what's my name? Teo. And if you want to know how to spell it, Teyo. That's what my name is, Loe. If you want to call my name, people call me Teo, or you can call me Loe, whichever one, Yeah, that's exactly how you say it, Teo. But I haven't really told you guys. If you watch my channel, you know what my name is. I'm pretty sure if you did a deep dive, you have to do a deep dive though. I've been on channel YouTube since COVID. So if you really wanted to find my name, it's in one of these videos. Somebody may have called it out, but yeah. Where was I at? Yeah. I think realistically, that fight should be next in 2025. I don't think Brian Norman, or Boots. I think they'll probably take a tune-up first and do it later in the year. I think that's the best thing going. As far as welterweight, the biggest thing for both of those guys. Because I don't want to see them sit and fight tune-ups and mandatories, bro. The division's already dry as possible. Welterweight used to be like the division. Now, people really care about, rarely care and talk about welterweight now. It had like a good stretch. They had a glamour run, but now it's dry. It's not really hitting on anything, and we waiting on a new face to actually take over the division and actually do something. In my opinion, so. It is what it is. I think, Toby, don't make me block you, bro. I like you, all right? I'm a cool kid. Don't make me block you, though, all right? Because I don't even know what it is. A cup. How old am I? I'm old enough, bro. Why so personal, Toby? How old are you? How old are you? Why you so personal? But I think that's the fight to make, in my opinion. I definitely don't want to see anything else. How old am I? What, bro? I'm just telling you. I'm asking you. How old are you? See, that's what happens. See, Toby. You see what happened, Toby? You got folks that really care about what I'm talking about, and You talking about how old I am. But yeah, I think that's the fight to make, especially at welterweight. Both guys. Uh, Boost is what, 27, I think, 27, 28, and Norman's 24. I think it's the best fight to be made at welterweight. You know, I don't want to see anything else. You know, if T.O. comes up to welterweight, cool. But so be it. You know, let's not too much worry about it, in my opinion, because you know it's gonna be a lot of unanswered, because I can't wait to see what happens between the fan bases, because I really like you guys might not think it, but Brian Norman Jr.'s dad is hilarious. He's hilarious. If you could just catch him on one of those lives or something, he's hilarious. He's one of those old heads that's funny. So you gotta, I respect the old heads, so I'm not gonna hear him talk bad about the man, but he's in his son's life, so I don't see why that irritates a lot of people. But he's hilarious. You get on a live or Mill City Boxing and see him on there, he's hilarious. And him and whatchamacallit, Greg Hackett be going, oh my gosh, Prime TV. I definitely love that. But I think they know what situation, and that's why they want the money they want for their fight. They know he might get wiped out by Boots, and I'm not gonna pick a winner right now. I did shout out to Brian because then nobody really called Boots' name out, so I kind of gave him credit for calling Boots' name out, but he did kind of look fishy when he asked for the back. But he knows, he was at all disadvantage. I'm going to Philly, it's gonna be a Boots home crowd. Boots' team is gonna be the lead promoter. He was all that. I would have asked for the bag too, Eddie Hearn should have called that man bluff and gave him that bag, and we would have seen the fight, and if he would have gave him the money he asked for it and he didn't pull the fight out, now we can, oh yeah, Jared and this guy Brian Norman looking shaky, he looking scared. But since you didn't call this bluff, you give him a room to say, yeah, he didn't get my number right. And you can't be here and sit here and say, oh, Brian Norman, you didn't get paid this. He's a champion now. He's a champion now, and his first unification fight, he's trying to take his first title defense, he's trying to take a unification fight. So you can't really tell him what he really should get. And he's going to the other guy's backyard. So we can't really sit here and say, oh, Brian Norman, you can't really ask for what you asking for. I think if Boots really knew the business, he would have tried to get that scrap. I would have gave him some of my purse to get the fight done. Because if I grab this scrap, later on down the line, the money is way better and a way better situation for him. So, that's what I thought, and that's what I was thinking. But, as a promoter, and I'm not even a promoter, that's what I was thinking. But Eddie Hearn, that's why I said he doesn't have Boots' best interest. He doesn't have Boots' best interest, in my opinion, So that's kind of what I was on, and I definitely did think, I would have did that, but who knows? I want to see it. Hopefully it gets made in 2025, but we'll move on. So what's next? What else I had in mind? Fury and Usyk, they fighting the 21st this weekend. We get to see it finally. The rematch. Am I super excited for it? I'm excited for it. Just to see it, but I kind of know what's going to happen. I don't think anything drastic is going to change, I do think Usyk's going to get it done again. I really think Usyk gets it done again, and that's no knock to Fury. I just think, if you going into a fight, you watch a fight the first time, Fury got dropped, boom. When that fight, you watch Usyk make the adjustments in that fight, later on in that fight. And if you ask in a fight, if it goes to the 13th round, who am I taking? I'm always taking the more technical, better boxer in this situation. This is heavyweight, so I do have to put the fact that, these are 220 plus pound men throwing punches, and they can always change a fight. But, just as far as boxing and what I've been watching for a long time, in rematches, I'm always taking the better boxer. That's why I haven't been an advocate, of seeing Spence Crawford rematch. A lot of people's like, yeah, they need to rematch. They need to rematch. I mean, what was going to be done different in the rematch? Of Spence and Crawford. Crawford showed him like, I'm just gonna counter you and I can hurt you. So, that's why I don't think anything drastic would change. I mean, we would, if they had fought at 54, cool. You give, you know, Earl Spencer say, okay, I'm not drained, but you still give Crawford an extra 7 pounds, and he actually feels better. So, I mean, it didn't look like anything would change. He was still getting there and counter Earl Spence, and the same thing would happen. So that's why I was like, I really don't want to see it again. If it happens, so I would watch it, but I don't really want to see it again because, that's just how it is. Same with, if any rematches you watch, it's rarely rematches, where the boxer doesn't win. Just, that's just my opinion. It's just, that's what I think. And I've always been an advocate of that. But if Tyson Fury, what he's gonna come in there and do? Come in heavy, super heavy. I don't think that would benefit him in the long run of that fight. If he comes in heavy on Usyk, and we know what Usyk isn't gonna come in fat shape. He's gonna be in the best shape possible if they got in there and fought. So he's putting himself in a disadvantage. And trying to come in heavy if he does, because Usyk is, he moves well, he's strong. He's not one of those guys that, Tyson can just lean on all fight, because Usyk's legs are too, he's not gonna be there. So, I think skillfully in the fight, I think Usyk should get it done. But, they're contracted to do it a third time if, Fury somehow gets it done. If Fury wins, they're contracted. And Frank Ward came out and said, it's a trilogy if Fury wins. So that kind of, raised my ears. What if they rob Usyk? If Fury can just, make the fight competitive, who knows? It's going to be a couple swing rounds, who knows? You can make it competitive. They give Fury the decision. They do it again, because financially, why not do it again? We can always make more money. That's what, as far as a business mind, I would think. So we got to be on the lookout, for Usyk getting robbed. That's just what it is, be on the lookout for it. Just keep your eyes on it, because, they do have it in the contract that they'll do it again. So that's my only issue. It's my only issue. If Tyson Fury really gets it done and he really gets the job done and he beats Usyk, I'm gonna be the first one to say, okay, he got it done and he did it fairly. It wasn't no bad decision, bad judging. I'm gonna be saying it, and I'll be cool with the rematch. I'm cool with it. But if it's a bad, you guys know what's gonna happen. We know what happens in times like this. Let's just keep it real. San Antonio minus 118. Who San Antonio played today? Somebody just tracked a bit. My bad, y'all. I love to gamble. My gambling. That's what I do. But yeah, rematches. I'm always favoring a better boxer. This is what I do. I do want to see the Bivol and Better Bear rematch, strictly because I think Bivol can actually improve from what he did. Better Bear, I mean, what can he do differently? I think, if anything, I think Bivol can improve, in my opinion. But I want to see it, I definitely want to see that rematch again. I think that's going to be amazing. You guys should definitely tune in. Shout out to Turkey Al-Sheikh. Turkey Al-Sheikh be putting on the biggest cards possible, and a lot of people may not like him because he's taking boxing overseas, and a lot of people want to keep boxing U.S. But if guy overseas want to put some big fights, gotta get that to him. I'm not gonna sit here and say Turkey Al-Sheikh shouldn't be putting on big cards because he's not putting them on in the U.S. That's on the U.S. promoters. And guys going over to take the bag, so we can't blame, Turkey, because he has it, Oil money is different. So Let's not hate on Turkey Al Sheik because he's getting big fights done. We should really thank him. Some of these fights wouldn't be getting done, if Turkey Al Sheik wasn't around. Let's just keep it a stack. Let's not lie and be unrealistic, because we know. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I do think Turkey Al Sheik is good for boxing. I've been an advocate, saying if he's done something flawed, I would say something. I would definitely, let everybody know, because I do, keep it a stack. I'm not gonna, if somebody does something weird, I'm gonna let you know you did something weird. But right now, Turkey Al Sheik has been, nothing but good for boxing. The only thing, people have to say is, oh, he's putting the cards in overseas in Saudi Arabia. Financially, he can do that. So, that's his prerogative. As long as I can watch the fight, I'm cool with it. It is what it is. But back to the Usyk Fury thing. Yeah, I don't think much is gonna change. That's just my opinion. I do think Fury is nice, but I just think this is one of those situations where a guy just may have your number, and it's been like that doesn't mean Fury is done. He actually can I would love to see him get in there again. I think he'll still try to get that Joshua fight done. That's still gonna make them some money, whether we like it or not. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua would still do well in overseas in England. So we can't sit here and say he couldn't get that done. But as far as him right now being the best, I think Usyk is the best. This cruiserweight, he has it. I can't sit here and right now we'll have to just wait till somebody uncrowns him. But he 37, so if I'm not mistaken, Fury is younger, but I wonder how long Usyk has, because he made what he's making this fight, 118 million or something like that, flat. It was a 60-40 purse split, so he's getting 118 million. Tyson's getting like 676 or something like that, something crazy. So they're getting a bag for this fight, and I'm pretty sure if Tyson wins, I'm pretty sure he's gonna do the rematch because he knows what type of money it brings. But so I want to see a locked in Tyson because I really want to see a good fight more than anything. I don't really care about who wins. I think Usyk gonna win. That's just me, just being the analyst of boxing. I think Usyk has what it takes to get it done again. Because of the ability to make adjustments in the fight. So that's why I'm kind of leaning towards Usyk. So I do want to see a good fight. If Tyson Fury goes out there and gets the job done, and he actually wins, fairly, I'm gonna get on her and make the video and say he got it done. But my last video I made, I said that I had Usyk getting it done. I just lean the boxer in the rematch. Kill me. Do something about it. Do something about it. That's just what it is. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Who do you guys have winning? Alexander Usyk or Tyson Fury? Nick, who you got? Mr. Needs, who you got? Do you got Tyson Fury or Usyk? Cause we watched the last one. But who you got? I got Usyk again. I just don't think nothing changes. It is what it is. We'll see. It's gonna happen this weekend, so we'll see. If he does get it done, I will be on here and say I was wrong. Sadly, I don't think I am, but I will be a man and say I was wrong because as me, you gotta be able to say when you're wrong. But right now, I don't think I'm gonna be wrong. But yeah, let's move on. 2025 is shaping up to be a great year in boxing. Right now we got what do we have already set for 2025? We got Raja season. You got David Benavidez and David Morrell. You got Tank fighting. We could possibly get Canelo and Terrence Crawford. So hopefully that gets announced. That might get announced next year. I don't think they're gonna announce it this year, but they've been rumored to be next. Robert Garcia came out and said that's possibly a thing. You know, Terrence Crawford and Canelo being done in 2025. I would definitely, you know, tune in and watch it for sure. But until it gets announced, you know, I want to trace it, you know. But yeah, 2025 is shaping up to be an amazing year. We got a lot of stuff going that's already set. Right now, you got David Benavidez and Dave Morrell, you know, they pushing each other and having shoving matches, you know, trying to mess up the money. But I think that's just more to sell the fight. You know, both guys, you know, they need to sell their fight. You know, PBC, they really need that fight to do well, which I hopefully it does. But I don't think it will do the best. You know, what is David Benavidez gonna do? You know, if David Benavidez can somehow make himself a star, you know, and David Benavidez has been trying to fight, you know, some good competition to get that Canelo fight, but Canelo just doesn't seem interested. And I think he may have to just deal with it. You know, if Canelo doesn't want to fight you, it is what it is. You move on. You know, I think you make your own legacy by keep beating guys. Like if you can beat Dave Morrell, cool. You know, that's a beneficial thing for you. You know, if you can somehow get the winner of the Dmitry Bivol Artur Beterbiev, you know, I think that's amazing. Even though I think both those fights would be very tough. I do think Bivol would be very tough for David Benavidez, and I think Artur Beterbiev would be very tough for David Benavidez. You know, because 75 is a different warrior, and we seen that against Vostok. You know, Vostok came in real big, like a real big 75, and David Benavidez really struggled with it. You know, you know, and he didn't look like the Mexican monster, but you know, he's had such a size advantage at 68 for so long. You know, it's been beneficial. You know, he doesn't look in crazy shape at 75. You know, so I hopefully, you know, he can. You know, he's not a guy that has abs. You know, David Benavidez was a fat kid at one point in time. A lot of people don't know that. You know, he said he weighed like 300 pounds. So you know, we do know he's not gonna come in with abs, but we do want to see him in good shape because, you know, his first defense at his first fight at 75 against Vostok, you know, he didn't look great around the midsection. You know, Vostok was very, you know, sculpted and he looked ripped up, and you know, Vostok just looked a little timid in there, you know, but I think he was just there to get a bag. You know, Vostok retired a while ago when Beterbiev beat him up, you know, and he hasn't really been around. I think he was just coming to get a bag and make some room, and I understand, but you know, a lot of people still think David didn't look his best, and I didn't think he looked his best. You know, and that's what it's gonna be. You move up, guys can handle your shot. Guys are gonna be bigger, taller, stronger. It's like that. So you know, I want to see how can Morrell make some, you know, can Morrell make some noise, because the fight is gonna be at 175. I think Morrell is possibly, you know, a very tough out. You know, I still think he's green, so I think that gives the edge to David. But you know, as far as, you know, skill, you know, I would say, you know, Morrell's more skilled, but I just think David is more their experienced guy. So, you know, that's where you give David the edge. I do see I do see the fight going, you know, where Morrell could outbox David, but I definitely see it where David Benavidez can stop David Morrell. So right now, who I'm edging, I like Morrell. Just give me Morrell by decision. I just didn't like, you know, Benavidez' performance at 75. And Morrell's performance at 75 wasn't good. I'm just, you know, in these type of fights, I don't see nobody getting knocked out. You know, I don't know if David has the punch to carry at 68 that carries to 75. You know, he's more of a 1,000 cuts guy. He'll hit you 1,000 times. I don't think he has just one punch knockout. So, you know, I think Morrell could hang around and box and make it competitive. So just give me Morrell on edge, you know, right now. I'll let you guys know if I change my decision on the fight. Right now, I like Morrell. Kill me. You know, if you guys hopped in here, make sure y'all like this live for me. We trying to get this out to everybody. Like the live. But yeah, they're just that pushing and shoving at the press conference. That's just to sell the fight. Amazon and PBC Prime, they need this fight to do well. Hopefully, they can put on some cards this year because they promised us 12 cards, gave us like 4 or 5, something like that. So Al has still been missing. We haven't heard from Al. I can't wait till Al pop back out. Or say something or let us know something because a lot of these guys say he's not answering calls and did he run off with their bag. So I'm pretty sure he owes some guys some money. So but one point in time PBC was running things, but now it's been a power shift and some people can't handle power shifts. You got Tank. They got what they got at PBC. Tank, David Benavidez. They kind of dry at PBC. They don't have nothing that they can really market. Canelo is renting. They get Canelo part time. He's not just their guy. He's not just their guy. So, it's kind of iffy at PBC. So, that's why you see David Benavidez and Morrell pushing. They really need this fight to get out there to the public. Because right now, it's kind of dry. It's kind of not being talked about. It's not really commodity. Both guys are Hispanic, so I think Benavidez, I think he's Hispanic. I think Maria might be Cuban or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But they need this fight to get out there, and they need to get out there fast. But casuals don't know David Benavidez. That's probably why he's trying to really get that Canelo fight. But Canelo has made it clear I'm not fighting David Benavidez, and he's not said it any clear. He said he want $200 million. That's fine, to make the fight. David has basically cleared out 68. He took out the dirty line. He fought Demetrius Andrade, fought Caleb Plant. He's really done. He's fighting Murillo now. I think, him chasing the Canelo fight is actually, helping him as far as a resume. He's actually building a decent resume. Because if he can knock off Murillo, I think that would be good for him. And if he's going to get a shot at Beterbiev and Bivol. So he'll be fine. I don't think he really needs the Canelo fight as far as, his career. But financially, everybody wants the Canelo fight. Everybody does. That's just what it is. I would get in there right now with Canelo for a bag. For sure. Yeah. Line me up. I have to put on a little weight, but, I definitely get in there for that bag. It is what it is. But, let's move on. The college football playoff is this weekend. First game we got Indiana versus Notre Dame. Great game. I'm ready for some college football. Right now, if you ask me which one I preferred, I'm definitely choosing college football over the NFL right now. I just feel like, college football is a little bit competitive. The only thing I don't like right now is the transfer portal NIL situation. I think it's some tad things that they could fix, and I'll talk about after I'm done with the playoff talk. But the first game, December 20th, we got Indiana versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a -7 favorite. We got Coach Kurt Cignetti versus Marcus Freeman. Kurt Cignetti, if you guys don't know, he was at JMU for like 4 years. I think 2019 to about 2023. He got the job in Indiana and basically flipped the Indiana program around. They're actually contending and actually of relevance. Even you might not say it. Their schedule might have been a little piss poor, but they've been winning. So we can't really give them flack for their schedule. They lost to Ohio State. That was the best team on their resume. And they lost. I think right now, besides Ohio State, Notre Dame would be the best team that they've played. And I like Indiana and Kirk. I like Curtis Rook and Kirk Cignetti as a coach. I just think right now I think that Notre Dame team really needs this, because they get here and come up short. I think this year they will be a little bit better as far as a team. I like Riley Leonard from Duke. He came from Duke. Jeremiah Love, the running back for Notre Dame. They're a tough team, and I think they might be a little bit too physical for Indiana. I do think 7 points might be too much, but I do think Notre Dame should get this done. That's just my honest opinion. If you ask me who I feel like has the better schedule, I would go Notre Dame. Notre Dame played the better competition. They had that loss to Northern Illinois, but they bounced back from that. They won like sixth grade or something like that when they lost to Northern Illinois. Even though where was I at? I think I might have been in Indiana when that happened or something like that. I might have been in Indiana when they lost to Northern Illinois, and I was at Buffalo Wild Wings or something watching it. But yeah, I do think 7 points may be too much for Kirk Signetti. I think they're gonna fight and make it close. I don't know. Gosh, that's 7 points. Do I take Notre? Give me Kirk Signetti in the plus. I do think Notre Dame gets it done, but I think Indiana covers. They cover this game. They're a good team. They made it close, even though they lost to Ohio State. They made it competitive, and I think they could keep it close with Notre Dame. Notre Dame, they have a issue with playing down the competition, so I think this is going to be competitive, and I do think this being the playoff means it's going to mean a little bit more first playoff, so I can see teams going out there and playing extremely hard. So I think taking Indiana in the +7, that's the side I'm probably going to slide to. Don't kill me. Don't kill me because I could be wrong, but because the physicality could be too much for Indiana, but I just think Kirk Signetti is going to get his team to fight, and they'll keep it close. They at least keep it, under 7. Even though if they do lose, I do think they keep it under 7. In my opinion, because it's really not just it's not a crazy edge to either team right now. I mean, you could say Notre Dame has played the better competition, but I mean Curtis Rook and Riley Leonard. I mean, I would say Riley's a little bit better. Marcus Freeman, Kirk Signetti. I mean, they, right there. So I think Indiana is more spread out, and Notre Dame, they kind of rely on that one game, which is smart. But I think in this game at a neutral site, I think I gotta edge Indiana with the plus. So yeah, let's call it and lock it in. I got Indiana +7 against Notre Dame. That's December 20th. So we'll get that Friday, tomorrow. Tomorrow or Saturday, one of those days. So the next game after that, we have SMU Penn State. Penn State is a -8.5 favorite. Even though I hate Penn State, you got Coach James Franklin. He'll be going against Rhett Lashley from SMU. The SMU team, they're okay. They've managed to get in. A lot of people, thought Bama should get in over them. But the college football committee didn't want to punish them for losing in their conference championship game. It was their first year in the ACC, and they made it. And they played Clemson. The game got ugly at first, and we thought, it could possibly be a blowout. It could have possibly been a blowout in that Clemson game. But I think Clemson kind of took their foot off the gas and allowed SMU to fight back and get back in the game, which allowed them to actually keep a spot in the playoff. Because I think if SMU goes out there and gets blown out by the best team they've been in there with, that may have been too much for them to not get in. I mean, to get in. If you get blown out, you possibly don't. But if you compete, you know, it kind of gives them room for saying, nah, we shouldn't punish you for losing in your playoffs, you know, in your conference championship. So that's the reason they got in. You know, they came back and fought, and they made that game a 1 field goal game in that SMU Clemson game. So that allows them to get in. And I don't think the committee wanted to punish them. So and I think that's fair. You know, I think Bama shouldn't have been losing to a 6-6 Oklahoma team. You know, that's on them. You lose to a 6-6 Oklahoma team in November, you don't want to make the playoffs. So, you know, I think they made an example out of Bama, which was smart. They should have. You know, I don't think Bama deserves anything. You know, they shouldn't be gifted 3 losses. It happens. You had 3 losses. You know, why would we punish SMU for losing by a field goal in their conference championship? But as far as the game, the spread's 8.5. I think that's pretty telling. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think the spread being 8.5 is pretty telling that this could get out of hand. You know, I think the defense of Penn State is gonna prove a lot physical. You know, for SMU. If you think Clemson was physical, I think it's gonna be a little bit worse. I think that that Clemson defense isn't as better as that. I think that Penn State defense is a little bit better than Clemson, and that's no knock to Clemson. I just think they're a little bit physical with Abdul Carter on that D line. You know, they're nice. We got to give Penn State his credit. James Franklin always has a very competitive defense. It's, you know, the offensive situation that kind of gets James Franklin in trouble. You know, so, you know, if the spread is -8.5, I think, you know, Penn State is probably going to get behind this O-line and their running backs with Singleton and what's the other, is it Allen? I want to say. I know Singleton for sure. You know, is one of those backs, and they're gonna get between those. You know, they got a 2-headed monster. So they're gonna be fine. I think that might just, you know, be too much for SMU, and that defense isn't gonna be like Clemson. They're gonna be, you know, a little bit more physical, and I don't think they're gonna, you know, let up once they get up. You know, I think it's gonna be a different story. That's just my opinion. Even though I do think Drew Aller is trash. You know, I hate Drew Aller. I'm not a big Drew Aller fan. You know, and I'll tell you why. You know, every time I bet against Drew Aller, you know, he wins. But every time I bet with Drew Aller, he chokes. So, you know, I kind of makes me mad. Kind of rubs me the wrong way. You know, Drew Aller, that's no knock to him, but I think he's, you know, super subpar. But, you know, he's gonna be able to get. They're gonna be able to get behind that O line and rely on their defense to get this done. And that's, you know, SMU. Shout out to SMU. You know, they made the playoff their first year with, you know, being around. And as soon as NIL started popping, you see SMU get back in the fold. You know, they were out the fold for a while. They were out the fold for a while. You know, they had the death penalty. You know, SMU, very, you know, if you go on that campus, SMU is very, you know, it's nice. It's very, 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 very wealthy around there. So, you know, I'm not shocked to see them back in the playoff after, you know, after NIL gets announced. You know, so it's back. But yeah, Penn State gets it done against SMU. I'm sorry, SMU. Y'all had a great season, but it is what it is. But the game after that, probably my favorite game of the week, Clemson versus Texas. We got Dabo versus Sarkisian. And the spread is 12, you know, and I think this is very crazy. A lot of people can be like, it could be telling or it could be crazy. No disrespect to Quinn, but him and his play, you know, his play against Georgia has been very skeptical. So I can't just say, man, -12 for Texas is a lock. I do think that Texas football team is a very good team, but I just think they're disrespecting this Clemson team. You know, Cade Klubnik balled out all year. You know, he had a great year, and I think he's gonna return to Clemson for next year. So Hopefully we get to see him again. But, you know, giving Dabo 12 points in a neutral site playoff game, I think that's kind of idiotic from the books. But I could be wrong. I just think it's kind of idiotic. I do think Dabo is going to have his team ready to play, and you know they're old fashioned. They just took their first transfer. Me and my brother talked about it. They just took their first transfer. You know, so look out for Clemson to be back. You know, in the fold. You know, because that was the whole issue. You know, Dabo was trying to stay away from the transfer portal, and he refused to use it. But if he's gonna adapt, I think Dabo will be right back to where he was, because Dabo is a good coach, and I just think him getting 12 points, I just think that's too much. I love Texas, and Quinn hasn't been playing his best. So who knows mentally where Quinn is. He's been talking about returning to college. Somebody tried to say I was clickbaiting, but no, that's real. I really looked that up. And I seen that. He said he's trying to return back to college to improve his draft stock. And Texas is in a little bit of a situation. Do you give Cures the job, or are you trying to move on to Arch? Because Arch is ready for the keys. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to let Arch venture off in a transfer portal, because bags are going to be offered, big bags. So let's not play. I want to see Clemson. I want to see Texas do right, but they're in a situation. I do think it was supposed to be Quinn leaving this year, and Quinn couldn't live up to it. His two Georgia performances, they weren't the best. I can't lie and say they were. They weren't the best at all. So that leaves Texas in a situation. Do you keep your Arch will be a redshirt sophomore next year. He's a redshirt freshman this year. He redshirted last year, so he's a redshirt freshman this year. He'll be a redshirt sophomore. If Quinn decides to stay at Texas, but I don't think Quinn is going to stay at Texas. He may leave, and we might see Quinn somewhere else, which is shocking. Because but Quinn transferred to Texas. So where did he come from? Ohio State? Was it Ohio State? I think Quinn Mayer came from Ohio State. So I wouldn't be surprised if he leave. It was on him. Those Georgia performances were on him. You in there, you got in there with the second string. You played Gunnar Stockton that was the backup, Carson Beck got hurt, you got Gunnar Stockton. We expecting Quinn Ewers to outperform Gunnar Stockton. So, that's why the Texas fans are looking at him crazy and kind of, looking away. So it is what it is. But as far as the game, it's hard to say. I just can't give. I love Texas, but I can't just sit here and say I'm comfortably leaving. Not giving Dabo 12 points. I think his team is gonna play too hard. They're gonna play hard. Cade is gonna do well. I don't think this is another Georgia situation. Because I don't think Texas is Georgia. I do think Texas has playmakers, but Clemson has playmakers. They're gonna be fine. So if you ask me who I was leaning, who I wanted to pick, I'm gonna have to go with Dabo in the plus. I know it might be square, but it is what it is. Call me a square if you want to. I'm definitely be taking a plus 12 in this situation. So it is what it is. I think the game's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think teams are gonna play hard because the playoffs is neutral size game. I don't think nobody's just gonna super lay down right now. That's just my opinion. Maybe SMU lays down, but everybody else, I don't think they're gonna lay. That's just my opinion. But what else we got? We got the last game. We got Tennessee and Ohio State. Probably it's a very underrated game. We got Nico versus Will Howard. Ryan Day versus Josh Heupel. And Ohio State being 7.5 point favorites. I understand, that Tennessee team hasn't really, put up a lot of points against great defenses. You know, Nico might got 19 touchdowns, and he might have put 14 up on them against the Kent States, the first 4 teams in his schedule. He might have did all that damage then. You know, I think he might have about 5 during the rest of the season, which is kind of insane. That Tennessee defense is great. You know, I think they rely on their defense a lot. But, somebody's going to have to put up points. And I think if you ask me who's going to score, I think that Ohio State is going to score. I don't know if they cover, though. I just don't. I think that Tennessee defense definitely deserves credit. But they're going to be on the field a lot if Nico can't produce offense. And that Ohio State defense is very physical. They're very good. So it's kind of, what you like. The spread being 7.5. Do you just, take Tennessee and close your eyes? I can see you doing that, but I just think Will Howard has so many weapons. Judkins and Henderson. Oh my gosh, he has so many weapons at his disposal. And Nico just hasn't really shown me much against, competition. I think all his work has been against those subpar teams. So, gosh, that's pretty tough. I can't lie, that's pretty tough. Right now, I like. Fuck it, give me Josh Heupel in the plus 7.5. Ryan Day just always finds a way to choke in these spots and come small. Even if they win, they might not cover. So just give me Josh Heupel in Tennessee. I know. It's just, I like it. I feel like the 7. I just don't. I'm just questioning if they're gonna cover it. And if you question if somebody's gonna cover, you probably should take the dog in the situation. So, I think 7.5 is a tricky number. I do think it's a tricky number. I don't think Mr. Nees, you in here? I don't think Brother's in here. Bro, you in here? Do you like Ohio State or Tennessee? Let me know. I gotta find out, because right now that's probably the only game I'm stumped on right now. I love, and I'm from Tennessee, so it's kind of it's not no bias there, but because I kind of bet without my feelings. I'll bet against my favorite teams. It is what it is, but I don't want to give you guys any stuff I wouldn't for sure take. But I'm looking at you guys, so give me a second. Both defenses are good. Nico hasn't put up much offense, Will Howard, they've been struggling against good defenses. They beat Indiana, but that Indiana team hadn't played anyone. Yeah. Right now, you guys, I think the safe bet, just safely, can we trust Ryan Day and to cover? I think just Josh Heupel and getting this 7.5. I think this is just the safe bet. That's just my honest opinion. I think that's the safe bet, and those are the games. So what do we have, you guys? We got Notre Dame versus Indiana. So I got Penn State. Covering -8.5. I got. What I got? I got Indiana I got Clemson plus 12. I got Tennessee plus 7.5, and then Indiana Notre Dame. Who do I have? I got Notre Dame -7. Fuck it. It is what it is. This is the second best team that Indiana has played. So give me Notre Dame -7. It is what it is. We'll reflect on these picks, and I'll let you guys know what I go. I don't think I'm gonna go. I might go 3-1. That might be the best, but I'm ready for the playoffs. And a lot of people might feel like the playoffs They're not star-studded. They don't have they don't. You know, I would have loved to see Cam Ward and Shadur and Travis make the playoff, but it doesn't happen like that. They didn't get the job done. If you don't get the job done, it happens. You don't get the job done, you can't. You know, it's 12 spots, so it gives guys way more opportunity. You know, Colorado had the perfect opportunity to get in. Cam Ward had the perfect opportunity to get in, and they didn't get it done. Colorado beats Kansas, they get in. They get a chance to face Arizona State. They get their chance, but they choke. You know, Cam Ward, you can't lose to a Syracuse team. You know, you just can't. I would have loved to see Cam Ward get in, but you know, can't come up smaller in these games. You know, Cam Ward, that Miami team had a terrible schedule all year, and we just, you know, we didn't say much. We kept it quiet. You know, it is what it is. But you know, Colorado, you know, it's on y'all. Y'all can't lose early in the season to Nebraska like that. That Nebraska team, if they play y'all now later on in the season, I think y'all are better than them. But in that early part of the season, that Nebraska team came to play, and I don't think Colorado came to play. They were out physical in that game. So yeah, you know, I think the playoffs, it may be missing some star-studded talent, but you know, I think we should. Those guys, they had the opportunity, you know, and I think this gives some guys to become stars. You know, we can see somebody make a drastic run. Who knows? If you know, I think we could see a new star. You know, we get to see Genty. I want to see what Genty does. You know, I'm pretty sure he's going to be mad about losing the Heisman. You know, and if we talked about the Heisman, Travis Hunter getting the Heisman, I mean, it was a hard argument, you know, but, you know, seeing Genty get robbed, I can see why people saying Genty get robbed. You know, he had more rush yards than most teams. You know, he got more rush yards than some of the teams in the playoffs. So, you know, seeing Genty don't get it, you know, it's kind of crazy, you know. But Travis Hunter also did something we hadn't seen in years. We haven't seen a guy play two sides of the ball, get 1,000 yards, 1,100 receiving, 15 touchdowns, and play defense and get 11 pass deflections, 4 interceptions, forced fumble, and he got 30 tackles. You know, it might have felt like Genty was robbed, but you know, I don't think the Heisman is an MVP award. It's the most outstanding award. You know, so I do think the Cowboys should still draft Ashton Genty, even though, you know, he may have lost the Heisman. I do think he's going to be hungry. I definitely want to see how he runs in the league. But, you know, I want to see how he handles it. It's going to be good because he's going to get tested, you know, and people going to load their box up, and they're going these playoff teams, it's not going to be weak. You know, this ain't going to be a cakewalk. There's going to be some physical teams that you play against, and they're going to scheme well for you. So I can't wait to see how Genty handles it. You know, who knows? He might get off, but I just don't know. You know, these teams, they scheme well, and they're going to be prepared for him. So I want to see what he does. But, you know, I can't be mad that, you know, certain guys didn't get in the playoff. I feel like all those guys had opportunities. You don't get it done, you don't get it done. So right now, we gotta be thankful for what we got in the playoff. You know, people wanted to see Bama. They didn't get in. They didn't get in because, you know, they weren't supposed to lose to a 6-6 Oklahoma team. That's on them. Cam Ward, you lose to Syracuse. You know, Georgia Tech. You know, it is. It's funny. You know, so Cornell, come on, can my guy get in and shoot? I gotta text Cornell back, y'all. Let him know. Let him know he can get in the gym, get his shots up. His guy can get some shots up. But yeah, I would have loved to seen those guys get in, but their team didn't have enough. So, you know, I'm still gonna watch the playoff. I'm a big college football fan. You know, so I want to see who gets it done. Right now, I told you guys, at first, you know, I might be changing my pick. I liked it Ohio State at first, but, you know, I'm going to have to change my pick to, we're going to go with, I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna change my pick and take Georgia. I think Georgia has a very easy, road to the championship. So I'm gonna slide to Georgia. It is what it is. Don't kill me. They don't play this weekend, so we'll play right now. They don't have the first two games. I was just talking about the first few games coming up. But yeah, we live. I'm gonna wrap it up. I love you guys. Shout out to you guys for popping into the live. I told you I'm gonna go live every Thursday and try to get you guys live and talk about it. We're gonna at least an hour, try to get you guys an hour every Thursday. And when I get time, right now I'm about to start the season for my basketball team. So, Saturdays I'll be busy, and we pretty decent. They're pretty good. So y'all get them some attention on the live. Let me talk about them for a second. I got a 4th grade team. They're pretty decent. I might let them do an intro and post them. I might post some clips of them, and let y'all see them. They alright. I'll let y'all see them. They alright. But yeah, we starting Saturday. Well, we starting next year, and I'll be busy from January to the summertime, because once I start this league, I basically go from this all the way to summertime, and we play AAU. And I was thinking about, I was talking to Travis, and he was like, man, you just take him to Birmingham. You guys know that Travis works with me. But he was like, I should take him out of town. And I'm thinking about it, so hopefully I might take him to Birmingham or St. Louis, somewhere around where I'm at. You guys don't know, I'm from Memphis, so, I might take him somewhere around there and let him see, some out-of-town level kids and let them see how they handle it. But that's all I wanted to wrap it up. I love you guys so much. Make sure y'all continue to subscribe to me, you guys. We on the road to 10K. Make sure y'all like this live. I'm gonna post this live so y'all can watch it again if you guys want to. I love you guys. We out though. Make sure you have a great day. I'm out.